Salve, salve, galerinha! Aqui trazendo mais vídeo pro canal. Galerinha, hoje nós vamos estar vendo aqui o Genshin Impact e no vídeo de hoje a gente vai estar fazendo a missão lendária aí do Kazuha. Foi o conteúdo liberado agora na atualização 2.8 nós tivemos aí. Então espero que vocês gostem, deixa aquele like, se inscreva no canal caso você não seja inscrito. Vídeo todos os dias, ative aí o sininho das notificações para você receber a notificação dos vídeos. E sem mais delongas aqui, vamos para o vídeo. Inicialmente eu vou falar para vocês o que é que vocês precisam ter para participar, né? Da missão lendária, para vocês conseguirem liberar ela. Aqui na parte do jogo, nós vamos ter aqui todas as partes de atualizações que nós tivemos aí no game. Na parte de eventos, se vocês descerem aqui, né, capítulo do Acer Palmatum, que é praticamente aí a missão lendária do Kazuha. Aqui embaixo nós vamos ter, né, período da duração da missão, que vai ser disponível permanentemente após a atualização do 2.8, e para você participar dela tem que ter de aventura 40 ou superior, ter concluído a missão do Arconte, né, capítulo 2, ato 3, Unipresença sobre os Mortais, ter concluído a missão lendária do Shogun Raiden, capítulo da Imperatriz Ambrosa, ato 1, Reflexões sobre Mortalidade. Então, ter feito isso aqui, né, vocês já vão estar aptos aí a participarem, né, a conseguirem iniciar a missão lendária do Kazuha. E o que é que vocês precisam fazer para liberar essa missão, né? Vocês vão vir aqui na parte de missões. E aqui embaixo vai ter missão lendária, né? Ele não vai ficar disponível ali. Veja que tem algumas missões aqui que a gente precisa habilitar, né? E aqui temos a do Kazuha, que foi liberada agora. Só que para a gente liberar ela, a gente precisa de uma chave, né? Uma chave lendária, de lendas, no caso. Essa chave de lendas, a gente fica habilitado a resgatar ela, uma chave, a cada 8 missões diárias que a gente faz, né? Aquelas missões roxinhas que ficam no mapa, que todo dia a gente pode fazer elas. A cada 8, ou seja, a cada 2 dias a gente consegue uma chave. Então eu tô com 8 aqui, vou liberar uma chave, vou mostrar para vocês aqui, apareceu uma chave de 3. Outra coisa é que você só consegue acumular até 3 chaves. Então se vocês tiverem com 3 chaves e vocês estiverem aqui com as missões aqui acumulando, vocês vão estar perdendo tempo, né? Então eu aconselho vocês, sempre que vocês conseguirem o quantitativo de 8 missões diárias, vocês pegarem a chave e utilizando essas chaves aí para vocês não ficarem acumulando e perdendo tempo, né, de farm. Com a chave aqui, essa missão lendária do Kazuha, ela é liberada apenas com uma chave. Outra missão que foi adicionada aqui foi o do Shikinau, né? Ele tá aqui, só que eu acho que ele vai precisar de 2 chaves para desbloquear, então a gente vai estar fazendo essa missão depois. Então hoje a gente vai estar iniciando aqui a missão do Kazuha. Vamos liberar aqui. Liberamos. Quando a gente ativa ela aqui, ela vem para a parte aqui em cima, né? Uma estrada estranha Yoshio, que é justamente a missão do Kazuha. E a gente vai botar aqui na navegação e iniciar ela, né? Fica aqui. Vou teleportar lá. Eu estou fazendo desse modo, né? Em vez de já ir direto para a missão, porque tem muita gente que tem dificuldade em liberar essas coisas, fica sem entender como é que pega as chaves, etc. Então o pessoal que está iniciando aí fica meio perdido. Chegamos aqui no ponto.
So many things have happened since... Yeah, we've definitely made some progress on our journey. So, where should we go today? Huh? What? Hey!
Inimigo?
What the heck was that for? Doesn't want to talk, huh? All right, let's convince him to calm down a little. Reveal by... Yeah! No, my sword!
Huh? So you don't have a vision after all? Seems like I've mistaken you for someone else.
At the very least you should know. Wait! Even when you've got the right person...
Have you ever met someone by the name of
cara.
Kazuha? He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard that he possesses an animo vision. That's none of your business. Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway. I'm wasting my time.
What the heck is this guy? guy's problem? Coming around here, waving that weird sword in our faces. And he didn't? Well, one thing's for sure. No way are we telling him anything about right? Paimon has a feeling, though, that even if this guy gets to challenge Kazuha to a duel... Anyway, just to be on the safe side, we should go fight Kazuha right away. Oh? What kind of hunch? A special connection? You mean beyond already knowing each other? Yeah, maybe a little. Anyway, there's no time. Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment. Let's look.
Começou aí a missão lendária. Vai estar lá em cima, teleportar.
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after all. Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only if it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the
Oh, so you...
I've heard bits and pieces. It's something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be? Really? Wow. When you put it like that, it all makes... He was called away earlier by some people from the Tenryou Commission. I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been friendlier to him. Seems like they really...
Just a little while ago, this would have been completely... Thank you. Guess we'll go...
All right, then. I'll just stay here and carry on trying...
Teleportar pra lá.
Oh? It's you.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt decree. Since you're here, you're very... We invited Mr. Kaidahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of the Shogunate. Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tension. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaidahara name. Regarding the history of the Kaidahara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat informed. In short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly, responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forging. But there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. Both the Kaidahara and Kamisato clans were held accountable for lax oversight. We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui, attributing all of the blame to the Kamisato and Kaidahara clans. Considering Mr. Kaidahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, the Almighty Shogun believes he should not only be... In the interest of preventing further harassment of the Bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not to publicly release the findings of our investigations into these matters. We trust you can understand...
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive the goodwill of the Almighty Shogun and the Shogunate at large. However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous gesture does not come without some strings attached?
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. With the Kaidahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaidaharas will be bladesmiths once more. You will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City with the Almighty...
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. I fear I would no longer feel at home behind the tall wall, yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaidahara, and the art of blade making for which it stood.
I sense some hesitation in you. Should you accept...
Malicious rumors? All we heard on the way here was so much praise that we almost wondered what—
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaedahara really parried the Shogun's strike. Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, the falsehood that Kaedahara Kazuha was using a delusion began to—
What? But that doesn't make sense. Using a delusion turned—
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements at once is a more inconsistent—
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion. But perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this situation—
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought. It stands to benefit all of us.
In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well,
Yikes! We nearly forgot about—
why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me? No. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade testing. We undergo rigorous training to standardize every motion the blade is put through. Over time, these techniques came to form something of a kaidahara. Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle.
all the more reason to watch your back. This guy was a serious—
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive.
In that case, I will send some men—
Thank you. I must say I am now very curious about this matter. I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one—
Very well. Please stay safe.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
The detective agency knows the
Okay.
most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has to say.
Teleporta ali pro meio.
Hey there! Do you know if it—
Aha! So this is...
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you can offer.
Oh? Mr. Kaedehara is to be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want. If these were more legitimate commissions,
millions of mora?
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. Sorry, I got a little off topic. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. The Tenryou Commission had very few leads. I thought you might—
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou—
Uh-oh. Looks like the—
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you, few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now. I am well aware of your talents. There is no need. It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically ill. For the poor victim, this would be a—
Don't worry. We'll find—
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaedehara. Surely this same—
You flatter me.
You are much too humble. Don't worry, I completely understand your concerns. Oh, actually, let me tell you about it, Justin.
Sure.
All right then. Recently, two people went— One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma—
Amenoma. Now—
Right. Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Togo, the two grown men going missing at the same time. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade.
Understood. Though it seems highly unlikely to me. I neither know this man, nor do I have any idea why he may wish to attack me.
Sure. Can't hurt.
Thank you, Ryuji.
Sounds good.
Yes, the Kaedahara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects. Yes, you may recall the story of the Raiden Goku.
Though all bladesmiths trace their craft back to the same source, over time, as an example, the Amenoma art. There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out. As for the art of the Kaedahara clan, I believe it's called...
That's right. Ishin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind from the moment that forging begins. For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings, and eventually become an extension of its wielder's will.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades. You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade.
You overestimate me. But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit today is to gather some information on your missing. We hope to assist with the
Ah, yes. He didn't say a word before he left, but I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too. No.
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, he gave me... I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato. After that, the next thing I heard was that a fire had broken out at the warehouse. Yes. Strange, isn't it? I wonder what...
Do you have any...
If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon. Otherwise, there would have been no reason. He's never been particularly interested in blade forging, but has always had a fondness for blade tech. He is extraordinarily talented in martial arts.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may based on the evidence we have gathered so far. Only Yuya seems to match.
What? No, he is humble and kind. Even his training is done with the goal of... Yes, if there's one thing I can say, but... With that, I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of. Anyway, should you...
Don't worry, you have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was...
Yes, it sounds as if something happened. Let's pay a visit to the Nag...
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay. My husband has gone missing, and I'm still trying to find him.
No, you misunderstand us. We are...
Ah, I see. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state. Has some new...
I'm afraid we don't have any new info. With this in mind...
For example, Paimon struck...
That's a long story. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself. Everything was fine when we first got married. But as time went by, things...
Uh-oh.
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse, he wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat... I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him. But making ends meet has to come first. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said, if he refused...
Whoa!
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if after I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family? Had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves in such a predicament, and I also don't know if he had actually come to his senses, or if the next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire.
I see. Amenoma Yuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato.
At first, I assumed, but my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to... I don't know. He just disappeared after the warehouse. Perhaps he's too afraid to come home, now that all his collectibles have been lost in the fire, and he's gotten... Even though I'm still a little mad at him, as long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf...
Please don't get upset. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, but the information we gathered from the other side suggests Amenoma Yuya is...
A little confusing.
Let's try a change of scene. Rest assured, we'll know...
Thank you
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only the fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation... Do you have any thoughts?
Well, Paimon would... Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
An interesting explanation. Amenoma Yuya is an expert on swords. He could have noticed some problematic details about Mr. Maybe he recognized a blade as a fake, or a well-known stolen item. Either way, after arguing about it, the two men agreed to hide the truth of this matter. They thought a fire would destroy everything. But then the Tenryou Commission began investigating and uncovered some incriminating... But it's a far-fetched theory. One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered. Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the only one of them with the potential motive to... The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker. Namely, that he is principally a practitioner.
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with one stone here, but at this rate, it's starting to look like a wild goose.
Let's keep going. Since we've come if we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs.
Okay, but...
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse.
Galerinha, o vídeo tá ficando grande, a gente vai dar uma parada por aqui. Espero que vocês tenham gostado. Deixa aquele like, se inscreva no canal caso você não seja inscrito. Vídeo todos os dias, ative aí o sininho das notificações para você receber a notificação dos vídeos. E a gente se vê no próximo vídeo. Valeu, falou e fui!